Welcome to Marketing MASH, brought to you by themarketingscope.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Vidal, Editor and Chief Content Marketing Officer at the Marketing Scope. Today, I have Karla Spormann, Founder and CEO of Tendo Communications. Welcome, Karla.
Hi.
Today, we're going to talk about content marketing and how it plays into the role of ABM, account-based marketing, and lead gen. So, first of all, account-based marketing, Karla, it's hot again. It's been around for a while, but it's been the real big buzz the last couple of years. And so let's start there. Explain to us how content marketing, content strategy, and how should we be thinking about it when it comes to ABM?
Right. So I think one of the reasons why account-based marketing is top of mind right now with marketers, once again, is the fact that there has been an emergence of a myriad of tools that automate or make account-based marketing easier, right? Make the process or they essentially enable content, or they enable account-based marketing. So with those tools, I think, the promise of account-based marketing at scale becomes a reality. Where does content play, and content marketing in particular? Frankly, content is the fuel that ensures effectiveness for any and all of those tools. So what that technology can do is essentially help a marketer manage various account relationships at once. But the key dependency toward whether or not those tools are effective and ultimately their account-based marketing programs are effective is what kind of content they're pushing through to those individual clients and accounts. And that's really where content marketing comes in. It's about the quality, the relevance, the value of the material that is put in front of the customer, be it in a general setting or an account contextual setting.
So for both account-based marketing and demand gen, one of the challenges I've had before, and I'm wondering if you see this, but some of the people on my staff, they wouldn't know what kind of content should go where, should top of funnel, middle funnel. So and I just caught them making some of the same mistakes over and over. And these were smart marketers who've been in the industry for a while. So what I did is and this is a little rudimentary, but I created this marketing funnel graphic. I think it was in a PowerPoint slide. I created it, and I just wrote, I gave examples. These are the types of content you should be creating for the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, then different ones for the bottom of the funnel when the deal's about to close or even after the deal closes, and what kinds of content salespeople should be leveraging with their accounts. And I know that's a little rudimentary, but can you share maybe some of the best practices that you are working or doing with some of your clients, or some of the things that they're maybe doing with or without you to help optimize, I guess?
Right. So I think it's interesting and frankly good practice that you've diagrammed, if you will, or outlined what kind of content is appropriate at what stage in the journey. But beneath that, where we see clients stumbling, frankly, is when you answer the question, what type of content, they'll answer with a format: videos, white papers, generic thought leadership. And the reality is, it's about, we call them customer care abouts. Think about early stage funnel where, a customer or even an account where you're trying to cross-sell multiple products. What are the bigger picture issues that they're concerned about that may help them get into a mindset that leads them to another level of specificity, right? So yes, thought leadership content, but what exactly are the issues and concerns that particular audience has? And then then you address the issues of what is the format. Because at the end of the day, all formats are useful. You want to meet the buyer where they live. You want to provide multiple formats so that they can digest. Some people are more visual, other people like video, some people and some types of questions and issues lend themselves to longer form material. But the fact is, you have to identify those key themes, those topics that are critical and relevant at that early stage in the journey, and then develop material to them. Middle stage, same thing. What are the, when you've identified a need and you're at a mid stage of the buyer's journey, when you're thinking about one product versus another, or one category of products versus another, what are the types of material, and more importantly, what are the questions and concerns and care-abouts that a buyer has, and create content around that. So it's about thinking about themes, topics, issues, then thinking about formats and creating the formats, not simply, a one-size-fits-all formula where you're assigning a particular format of content to a particular place in the buyer's journey.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I love the care-abouts, and I love some of the examples that you said. One of the challenges that a lot of B2B marketers have is that they are ready to start, an account-based marketing program, or they're about to launch a demand gen program, and they grab the content that they already have created. It's 5 months old or however long, right? And so they don't take those things into concern. And so when you come in at that stage, what do you suggest? Do you let's hold, let's go back, and let's do this right? Or do you get asked to do this in parallel? I'm curious.
Well, I think that marketers today have pressure to perform, right? To show results, to demonstrate ROI, and oftentimes they've installed expensive technologies, Eloqua, Marketo, account-based platforms, and they need to fill them and they need to show results. So their natural tendency is, we've got this machine and we've got to fill it. We've got to put something into it. So we try hard to counsel our clients to think carefully about ensuring that you have a few quality pieces that are particularly focused, relevant, resonant. It's not just stuff. More is more. Stuff is stuff. What you want is quality. So everyone has a limited budget, right? So let's really hone in on, where you can make a difference, because in our experience, one piece of great material, and yes, it's expensive to create oftentimes, but one piece of quality material will outperform five $5,000 white papers, right? So it's not about just putting stuff out there and seeing what sticks. Certainly you need to harvest what you have, and sometimes you can harvest it as it is, sometimes you can adapt it, but think about really creating a meaningful experience. Focus on creating a few good things and then using them in a number of different ways, versus just filling, the pipe with material, with content in a generic way.
I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here smiling. I'm just enjoying this because this is what I need to hear. It's what I like to hear, and I know our clients do too, or excuse me, our audience does too. So, you shared some best practices. What are some? What's your advice on for a B2B marketer that maybe can't bring in a high-end agency to help them, and they're getting ready for the new year right now, right? We're just 2.5 months away. What are a couple of tips for them to kind of start this up and do it right for the next year?
Yeah, so a couple of key points. Again, it gets back to know your audience, know your buyer, and understand what they care about. One of the big things that we advocate is make sure that you have a bridge to someone in sales who is close to the customer, so you've identified those key issues. And agency or no agency, map out a plan where you're putting dollars, you're concentrating dollars on some quality versus spreading yourself too thin, right? It's not about, we're in an always on demand marketing environment. So
Yeah.
make sure that in that always-on environment, there are a few destinations or a few points that really distinguish your product, your brand, your proposition from the competition. There is so much noise out there. Make sure that you've invested your time, the limited dollars that you have, in a few high-quality experiences that are really deeply meaningful and address the key issues of the audience that buys your product, and you'll win.
Yeah, and I love the way you brought up a second ago about connecting with somebody in sales. I just wrote a piece on that recently. Connect with them so you can understand what their concerns are, and because they're in the trenches, the salespeople know, and
Right.
you need to rely on them sometimes for strategy and messaging and run things by them. And I love that you brought that up.
Yeah, we often, one of the disciplines that we go through as we work with clients is insisting that we have a connection at some point as we're, developing a plan with someone in a sales capacity. And frankly, we're all busy and we're all focused on our own kind of discipline, but I think marketers should develop those touchstones regularly so they can, frankly, they need to understand what are the objections that the salesperson is hearing in the field, right? Why are they choosing, why are customers choosing your competitor over you? What are the key issues? And what are they really, what are they grappling with in terms of their business challenges right now? And use that to address, to integrate into your content plan. Yeah. And that should form the basis of what you talk about and what you deliver in terms of content.
Yeah. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. So Karla, what happens if somebody wants to connect with you to, follow what you're doing on Twitter, or maybe even connect with you via email to talk further? Can you give your contact information?
Sure. You can find me on Twitter at TendoKS, or via email, Karla with a K, S, at tendocom.com.
Karla with a K, S, at tendo.com. Tendocom.com.
Tendocom.com.
Thank you, Karla Spormann, thank you so much. We appreciate all your insight, and we hope to have you on our show again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric, and we'll be talking.
That's it for this episode of Marketing MASH. You can share your thoughts by following us on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe to our podcast to keep up with the show. And of course, you can always find us by visiting themarketingscope.com.